Welcome to Lothar's Guitar School and a tutorial on body and soul with chords, melody, improvisation and analysis. Here we go! The chords I'm using are pretty standard, pretty basic. Mostly drop 2 and drop 3 voicings. And if you're not familiar with drop 2 and drop 3 voicings, check them out in my lessons. They're pretty extensive. And the rhythm I'm using is a standard rhythm used on ballads, bass note against chord. So the rhythm and the chords are pretty easy. The melody is also easy. It stays in the same key all the time. First 8 bars in D flat. Just one little blue note. So I play it in the 8th position. Then the B section I play in 7th position. And the second part of it. And then go back to the 8th position. That little blue note I'm using in the improvisation also, if I can. So to give it a hint of the melody and to make it feel like the original. So now let's look at the analysis to get ready for improvisation. So if you want to play outside, you first have to know how to play inside. So no matter what you are using as a reference, scales or chords, it's important to know the notes that are changing. So let's look at Body and Soul. It's in the key of D flat. It's here in the 3rd bar. So this is a 2 chord, a 2 minor 7 chord. You play Dorian, or looking at chord, the 9, the 11 are fine. This is a 5-7 of the 2. And when we look at it scale-wise, that would be harmonic minor of the 5th degree from E flat minor. So the important notes that are different are the B, which is the flat 9, and the D, which is the 3rd. So if you play those notes, you're pretty much outlining the chord and you're following the change. Here we have 2 minor 7 again, and this is the sub 5 of 1. So this is the dotted arrow, the sub 5. And that usually, as for Mixolydian, sharp 11. So you play a D7 chord with a 9, a sharp 11 and 13 if you want so, and the scale that's derived from is the A melodic minor. And the important notes again are the D, because that's not in D flat, the E, if you want to, is the 9, but it's not outlining the chord, so the A, which would be the 5th, and, important, the C. So, playing those notes, you're very nicely outlining that chord, going to the D flat major 7. So that's the 1 chord, D flat's major scale. G flat 7 is the 4-7 chord, and the 4 is usually a major 7, so this is the 7. So the changing note is here, the E, and that's also again Mixolydian sharp 11. F minor 7 is the 3 chord, and the E diminished 7 is diminished chord, so you have a passing chord and you play the whole tone, half tone scale. And important notes that are not in D flat are the E and the G. Then we come to the Dorian, E flat minor 7 again. C minor 7 flat 5 is Locrian. That's part of the D flat. F7 is derived from, again, harmonic minor of the 5th degree, and if you know my lesson about that, you can just play Phrygian and add the A. So Reg'n is part of the D flat, so you just have to add the A and you are already in the ballpark. So that's a 2-5 again here, and going to the 6 minor 7. And we have another 2-5 here. So the important note to hit here, we are in the key of A flat, is the G, because that's not in D flat. And another 2-5 here, and that's just the regular 2-5-1 in D flat. And then again we have the B flat 7. Of course it would be flat 9 again, like we had in the beginning. Repeats, and then we modulate to the D, to the key of D, and that is done with the A7, the 5 of 1, of the new 1, play Mixolydian or altered. 1 chord, 2 chord. I play the 3 chord here, the F sharp minor 7, which is basically the same, just a little variation. And here we have a 2-5 in the key of F all of a sudden. So think of it, so you have to have the B flat is important, which is not in the key, and the F is important. And on the C and the B flat are important. So play a little outlining that, and you are very nicely outlining that 2-5 here. And we have another 2-5-1 here. And those are just 3-6-2-5-1, all in the key of D. Now we're modulating to C, and that's a 2-5-1. Dorian, Mixolydian, Ionian, diminished chord, whole tone, half tone scale again, and important notes are the E flat and the G flat, which are not in the key of C. 2-5 to a 1-7 chord, and you could see it as sub 5s, but could just also leave it. But then you could make it mixo sharp 11 if you want to, and then B flat 7 again back to the 1. And the last A section is a repetition of the first A section. So that's a short analysis of Body and Soul, and you can now outline your solo by using those tones, not necessarily thinking about scales or chords. Just use these notes and you are pretty much outlining the changing. So this was a tutorial on Body and Soul with chords, melody, improvisation and analysis. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you here soon at Lothar's Guitar School. Take care and bye-bye, and don't forget to subscribe.